Hey, this is Blake from the Gig Harbor Fly Shop, and I just got back from a really great trip to Cuba, and I got to try out some of the new fun stuff from Sage. So I got to try out the new R8 Salt fly rods in the 8-weight and 9-weight, and I got to try out the new Sage Enforcer reel. Here's the reel right here. This is was loaned to me from our rep, and I had the 8-weight Rio Elite Bonefish line on this on the 9-foot 8-weight R8 Salt, and I was super happy with the reel as far as its performance. I thought that the drag worked fine. I like the click on it. The reel worked flawlessly, and I also took a 910 with me, and instead of putting it on the permit 9-weight, which I knew I wouldn't maybe get the opportunity to use that reel as much. Permit casting is a lot of hunting and some casting. The only time you're really using the reel is when you finally hook up, and man, that's a chore. And so I put an intermediate Rio Flats Pro line on the 910. And one of my goals on this trip was to try to catch some really cool fish that a lot of fly anglers don't target. So I targeted some Cubera snapper and hooked a really big one, and man, had that line singing, but I cranked that drag down, and that was probably my favorite part about this reel, is for anglers that need to have really strong drag. So maybe you're fishing for GTs, large tarpon, I'm thinking maybe even Baja stuff, whether it's tuna or jacks, any of those things that pull really hard where you need significant drag pressure. I love that this drag knob only just goes 0 to 20. You know exactly where you're at on the drag, and you can really crank that thing down. In fact, when I hooked that Cubera snapper, it was fishing around a wreck, and I didn't want that. I saw the fish. It came up, ate the fly as soon as I had cast, and the fly was starting to sink, ate the thing, and it went right back down toward that wreck. And so I had the drag set really tight, and I did not want to give in. So I was using a 10-weight Sage Maverick fly rod. And I put a good bend in the rod, just trying to keep it out of the wreck, because I knew I was either going to lose it on the wreck or I was going to break the rod. Those were the only things that were going through my mind at the moment. And it actually ended up breaking the 40-pound class tippet I had. I knew I was going to be doing some blind casting, and so I was a little bit nervous about hanging up the hook on structure and then not being able to break the leader material, and I didn't want to break the fly line material. And so I went 100-pound fluoro, and then I had 40-pound class to 60-pound bite tippet, because these things are toothy and they could do some damage to that line. So what ended up breaking was that 40-pound class tippet, and so I ended up changing it up and going 100-pound to just 60-pound, and kind of risking a little bit. I'm not sure how strong that core is in that fly line, but it's beefier than standard fly lines for sure. But I didn't want to test that or test the loop on it. So that reel cranked down, man. It was awesome. I also tied into a nice jack that had, when it hit the fly, the hook kind of got the fish on the side a little bit. So for those of you that have foul hooked fish, you know how difficult it is to land those things. And that reel was great to just put the pressure on the fish and really fight that thing. And it made blistering runs. And so I'm really happy with this reel. A little bit sad to give it back to the rep. I don't know. Maybe he'll give me one. Yeah, he's not going to do that. But I imagine picking up one of these reels for myself in the future, especially for the bigger game stuff. Definitely think on 10 weights, 11 weights, 12 weights, that kind of stuff. I'm really pleased with how this drag performs. Definitely for those heavy game, big fish, where you need to be able to stop them. I think it's a great solution. Check out the links down below. We have these available on our website for you to be able to purchase. I do want to point out that if you are looking at bigger game stuff, like really, you really want to go after like yellowfin tuna or some stuff like that, check out the Sage Thermo reel, because it has the same drag system in it, upsized a little bit, really to wrestle with those monsters. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope it was super helpful if you're thinking about getting an Enforcer Sage reel. If you want to buy one from us, we would love your business. We have a link down below in the description. Please let us know if you have any questions in the comments, and we're happy to help. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.